Hi, I'm Antonia. This is Universally Me. I'm very, very excited for today because I'm interviewing one of my favorite people in the world, my aunt, who is a legend. She's amazing. She's everything. She's 104, and her name is Carla Laemmle. So, hi.
Thank you.
Well, when were you born exactly?
My birthday is October 20th, 1909 I was born.
Wow, 1909.
Yes.
And you were born where?
Chicago.
Chicago.
In a hospital.
And
Yeah.
do you remember Chicago? Do you remember
Oh,
growing
sure
up?
I do.
What was that like?
Cold. No, I was still pretty young, when I moved out here. I think I was about 7. But I remember Chicago being, I loved it because we had snow there, and I would play in the snow. There were a lot of very young people that lived there too, and we had a very good time. Yeah.
What were your parents like? What was your mom like?
Oh, she was wonderful. She was very, very intelligent. She had a college degree and all that. And she loved the theater. She wanted me to express myself, and as an actress. And she would, do everything to be helpful to me. I just adored her. She was right with me on everything that I did, and it was a wonderful time of my life there.
And what about your dad?
Well, he loved to play pinochle, and he really wasn't very healthy all his life. He had a bad heart. He was quite a few years older than my mother. Well, I loved him very much, of course.
What brought you guys out to California? How did you end up at Universal?
My uncle Carl, talked my father into coming out to California for his health. So that's how that worked out, and we moved right into Universal Studio. They
That's
had
cool.
a house there. In fact, 2 houses. It was pretty fantastic. We had the wonderful mountains behind Universal, and we had the animals in the back part of the property. And I would wake up sometimes in the morning by hearing the lions roar. And I just loved living there. It was wonderful.
That's cool. And that's where you started dancing?
I was about 7 when my mother enrolled me in a class. Yeah.
Did you know that you wanted to dance forever?
Well, I didn't know it, but my mother knew it because I was just hopping around, and as far as I knew, I was dancing. And she realized that I had some talent in that direction, and so she started to give me dancing lessons.
How did you get your first role in a movie? Your first one was Phantom of the Opera?
Yes, I guess, but all I did was dance in that. I didn't have speaking lines.
Did you audition?
No.
No? Did they just give you the role?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they knew what I could do, I loved doing it, and I wasn't nervous or anything.
Mm-hmm.
The camera didn't scare me or anything.
Did you just felt comfortable?
Yeah.
That's good.
I just loved being an actress, and I felt at the time that my uncle didn't give me a proper chance, that I could have done a lot more if he'd given me the opportunity. But I don't think that he realized I had very much talent at the time.
And then her father brought Carla Laemmle to see her in the light opera. And that's when Carla Laemmle realized she had real talent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was when I was working at the Shrine Auditorium.
really, the Shrine?
Yes, I was on a contract. They were a 10-week season of light operas. And I was dancing and had parts in each one.
Oh, wow.
And I was...
And Carl came to see you?
yeah.
And what did he think?
Well, I guess he was proud of me.
Do you have memories of Carl?
Oh, sure I do. I remember that he just ran the studio. And he was a very, very wonderful man. He knew exactly what was good. He knew what the public liked, and he really did a beautiful job at Universal. He would always hire directors that knew their job and writers. He was a very, very wonderful man, and I was very fortunate to be his niece and to live at Universal.
I've heard there were some pretty great parties back then. Did you ever have, like, your birthday parties there?
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
what were those like?
Oh, just fantastic. They were always costume parties, and all the young people that I invited came in costume. And we always had it outside because there were so many people. And,
And one of your good friends was Mary Philbin, right?
yes.
And how did you two meet?
Well, I knew Mary in Chicago. They lived just a very few blocks from our house. And she was 6 years older than I, and very, very beautiful. And it was my father that told my uncle that he should meet her, and that she would be a very beautiful actress. So he did meet her, and he was very impressed with her beauty, and he gave her a contract.
And what do you remember about when you were filming Dracula?
Well, I remember the lines that I spoke. Among the rugged peaks that frown down upon the Borgo Pass are found crumbling castles of a time gone by.
That was very good.
Wow, wow. No, I'm glad that I have sort of, got that in my mind, that I haven't lost it.
No?
And what about, do you have any memories of Bela Lugosi?
Oh, yes. I saw him, of course, in several scenes. I was very impressed with him. He's wonderful.
I think I've heard you tell this story before. You saw Lon Chaney as the Hunchback when he was filming?
Yes. Yes, I did.
And what can you...
Well, of course, he was such an artist, and he was a wonderful, not only an actor, but he was able to do these tremendous climbs and really put his life in danger. He did, but he never missed a beat. He was just a remarkable actor, and I was very fortunate to be able to be that close to him at the time.
I've heard stories about walnuts in his cheeks.
Oh yes, he had this tremendous makeup, and he would do it himself. He was a very extraordinary personality. It was wonderful, very gifted.
And you still act, right? You still perform?
If I have the opportunity. Yes, sure I would.
Do you think that you're the oldest working actress in the world?
No, I think there's somebody older than I am, but I don't know. I am pretty old. I never think about it, that I'm so old, because I don't feel that way.
How old do you feel?
Oh, maybe 22. No, I really feel young.
Mm-hmm. I guess, I don't know, is there anything else you want to say or you want the world to know?
I just love living at Universal. I grew up there, and that was very, very special. I just loved feeling close to everything wild.
And what's your life philosophy?
Harm no one, especially yourself.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
This is really fun. You can always keep up with everything that Carla's doing on www.laemmle.us. And I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching. This is kind of a dream come true for me. And thanks. Bye.
Love you.